welcome to the Metal Bandmobile for this album review. That's right, another one coming from the good old Metal Bandmobile. You know what? A couple days ago, we had another album turn 40 years old. And this is one I've lived with since 1983, since around the time it first came out, when I first saw the video to Come On, Feel the Noise on MTV as a little 4-year-old. Little Metal Ben, you know, that's right. And the album I'm obviously talking about should need no introduction. Everybody should know this freaking album. Quiet Riot Metal Health. You know, you got that iconic album cover, which I still love this album cover, man. It's really cool. Get a shot of the band there on the back. Now, this is a reissue. This is not the original version. I used to have this on cassette tape years and years ago, and I don't have that cassette no more, unfortunately, but it is what it is. First heavy metal album ever to hit the top Billboard charts back in 1983. Yes. Pretty amazing shit for the time. You know, you got at least 3 well-known tracks off this record, maybe 4. But man, we're going to get right into it. So you got the late Kevin DuBro on vocals. You know, you got Carlos Cavero on guitars, replacing the late, great Randy Rhoads at the time. You got Frank Banali on drums, and you got Rudy Sarzo on bass. Except for 2 tracks he does not play bass on. You have a guy named Chuck Wright, who played on Metal Health and Don't Want to Let You Go. Yes, those are the 2 tracks that Chuck Wright played on. And he would join the band later on, you know, I think on the Quiet Riot self-titled album, or maybe 3. It was one of those albums he joined in on, but anyways, because Rudy Sarzo had left at the time, or, you know, whatnot. So anyways, yeah, let's get right into it, because I don't really gotta spend too much time on this album at all. Opens up with Metal Health. You know, bang your heads! Metal Health will drive you mad! Iconic track, man. Really iconic track, man. It's just... it's killer, man. I mean, I know I saw it on MTV back in 1983 also, not too long after I saw Come On, Feel the Noise on MTV. Back when MTV actually played music videos, people, yes. You know, back when MTV used to be fun to watch, you know. But yeah, man, so yeah, amphetic, killer track. It still sounds cool to this day, man. Still really cool, fun track. Come On, Feel the Noise. Another well-known track off this album. You know, like I said, that was my introduction to Quiet Riot as a 4-year-old kid, you know. Really good stuff, you know. Yeah, it might be, I'd say these 2 tracks are definitely overplayed by today's standards, but for me, it brings back a lot of nostalgia, so I'd still enjoy them from time to time. Don't Want to Let You Go. Now, this track, it's my least favorite track on the album. I just don't care for it. It's a ballad. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I didn't like it back then, and I still don't really care for it today. Slick Black Cadillac. Another track that's pretty known on this album, yes. Rightfully so, it's a pretty good song. I mean, this track was originally on Quiet Riot 2, which came out in 1979, over in Japan only, you know, which featured the late, great Randy Rhoads on guitars. I'm just trying to think to myself, which version do I like better? I definitely like the Metal Health version better. So then moving on, we got Life's a Bitch. Life's a bitch, baby. I love this track. This track is so freaking good, man. I absolutely enjoy this track. It's my favorite on the album. Did I say Life's a Bitch? I meant to say Love's a Bitch. I apologize for that. Love's a Bitch. So, excuse me there. So, yeah, Love's a Bitch is definitely my favorite track on here. I just love it. It's a perfect early heavy metal song indeed. And we got, to me, one of the best tracks on this freaking album, too. It might be my second, actually, it is my second favorite on here, I think. I'm talking about Breathless. Oh, my God, this track's so good. This one's a little different, man. It kind of has a new wave of British heavy metal gallop to it. It's a little heavier. Yeah, it's kind of got that Iron Maiden gallop to it a little bit. It's kind of different. I like it. It's got some really good melodic guitar work in it. Excellent solos by Carlos. Kevin DuBro's doing some really good vocal work on this track. Some great drumming by, Frankie Banali. Rudy Sarzo does a great job too. Great stuff. Run for Cover, man. Oh, this is a good one too. This is a good barn burner of a track. Easily the fastest track on here. I would say, yeah, this one's pretty darn close to speed metal. It's pretty fast. You get some fast double bass stuff going on here. Definitely a sound of its times. It's pretty good stuff. It's fast and just straightforward. Really good stuff. I enjoy it. Then we got Battle Axe. Okay, Battle Axe is an instrumental, a little under 2 minutes long. It's just guitars. Yeah, it's just Carlos playing a guitar solo. It's pretty cool. I like it. Even though I gotta say Dimebag Darrell actually played this better, in my opinion. Because Dimebag Darrell, well, he was called Diamond Darrell back then. Back in the early days of Pantera, he would play this track, or he would play the guitar solo live when he did his guitar solo, And it was really cool. I mean, you can find it on YouTube of, Dimebag Darrell playing this. It was on the Dime Vision DVD, too. That came out, back in 2006, if I remember correctly. All in all, man, I really like Battle Axe. I think it's a really cool guitar instrumental. It's something a lot of bands back in the day did. You don't really hear bands do that stuff nowadays. Moving on. So then we get Let's Get Crazy. Oh, man, this track's really freaking cool, too. It's pretty catchy. Another one that was pretty popular on here. Now, this one might be one you don't hear as much as Come On Fill the Noise or Metal Health or Slick Black Cadillac, but it was a pretty big tune at the time. I enjoy it. I think it's a pretty awesome track. It really reminds me of Killer Girls off the first Quiet Riot record. I think that was on the first Quiet Riot record that came out in 1977, which featured Randy Rhoads too. But yeah, man, it's kind of got that vibe to it. It's pretty cool. Anyways, moving on. Last track on here, we got Thunderbird. Now, this is a ballad that's well done. This is a good ballad. It's a good way to end this record. And I just don't think this album needed 2 ballads. That's my only gripe with it. But Thunderbird's a tribute to Randy Rhoads. Rightfully so, because he passed away a year before this. And, it's a good way for Quiet Riot to pay tribute to one of their fallen, And Randy Rhoads, being one of the greatest guitar players in history, deserved a tribute like this, definitely. So yeah, it's a pretty good ballad. It's a good way to end the album and pay tribute. Now, mine's got a bonus track on here called Danger Zone, which I think should have been on this record. It's a heavier track. Takeoff Don't Want to Let You Go and put Danger Zone in its place, and this album would have flowed better, in my opinion. I think Danger Zone's a killer track. It should, like I said, it should have been on the album. It's a good, heavy, rocking tune, Good stuff. And then you just get a live version of Slick Black Cadillac, and that's pretty much what the reissue is. Yeah, man, all in all, it's still fun to listen to. Like, I don't listen to this as much as I did back then. Like I was listening to for the last couple of days to try to refresh and review it, which I didn't really need much refreshing on this record since I'm so used to it. And it's such a well-known album. But yeah, man, all in all, it's still fun to listen to. I still give it like an 8.5 out of 10. It's nostalgic. It's a fun heavy metal album. It's the first heavy metal band I can remember really listening to, when it comes to heavy metal, being Quiet Riot. So yeah, man, fun album. I still definitely recommend it. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell nobody to go out and listen to this album. I'm pretty sure everybody has heard this record. Well, then again, there's probably somebody out there that hasn't heard it, Either or, yeah. Still a good listen, still a fun listen to revisit, every once in a while. But yeah. Anyways, moving on. Tonight, coming up at 9 p.m. here on the Metal Bastards Hangout Podcast YouTube channel, me and Music of Destruction will be collaborating for Brothers from Hell Monday. That's right. So definitely stay tuned for that. We are going to be reviewing this album that came out last year in 2022. Death Hammer's Electric Warfare. You're not going to want to miss it. So definitely stay tuned for it. Go subscribe to Music of Destruction, Damage Incorporated, Thrash R.i.p, Thrash, Thralls of Metal. You know, go sub to them channels. Anyways, I'm out for now. Keep it freaking metal and bang those heads. And remember, mental health will drive you mad.